Alright guys, so we absolutely have to speak about the shoe that I just got in the mail. I got them a couple of days ago, but I'm only now getting around to reviewing them. And honestly, I got these only because someone asked me if I could grab them for them in a size 9, and I obliged and I ended up hitting them. But what I did not know at all is that these are absolutely wild. I think you guys are going to be very, very surprised. I don't think that many people know about these at all, just because they were a pretty weird release. Like, a couple people hit, but I didn't really see them dropping anywhere besides Nike. And they kind of dropped along with a couple other shoes as well. And usually when that happens, it kind of washes out all the shoes that dropped and kind of makes people forget about them in a way. But in hand today, without wasting too much more time, we got the Dia de los Muertos Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2. So these are actually not even a regular Jordan 1, so there's even more to talk about than usual. And like I said, they were pretty easy to get for those that wanted them, but I don't think that many people really appreciated these from photos, because this is a shoe that you just can't not notice. I mean, it looks absolutely wild. One of the craziest looking shoes I've ever seen. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what Dia de los Muertos is, it is essentially Day of the Dead in Mexican tradition, and I feel like the Dia de los Muertos shoes are almost always absolutely fire. I know there's those Day of the Dead Dunks, the SBs, that absolutely everyone knows about, the green ones with like colorful patterns on them. They have high Day of the Dead SBs, a lot of Day of the Dead shoes that really slapped, and I feel like the thematic shoes around this time of the year from Nike are usually pretty solid. Like, we usually have a Halloween shoe, a Day of the Dead shoe, and maybe like a Thanksgiving shoe as well that could come out usually. But without further ado, let's jump into the box, because this is the coolest box I've probably seen this year. So on top, we got a black and gold finish with a Nike swoosh on it, with several details. Like, I don't know exactly what all of this stuff means, because I don't know Mexican culture like that. But on the side, we do have some symbolism for Day of the Dead. That is the authentic Nike tag. These are size 9 men's. You got like some embroidery right there. And the box itself feels like really high quality. Like, I can't bend it at all. It's super sturdy. Inside, we have this pink wrapping paper, which is not what I would expect to be in this box, but there you have it. It also says Familia on the back of the box right here. On the front, we got some more embroidery. You got some skulls on top. Let's see if I can angle this correctly. You got a skull right here. You got like, looks like maybe some angel wings right there. So overall, super cool box. Like I said, this is the coolest box I've seen so far this year, which is pretty much saying a lot. But the coolest thing in the box is actually really unexpected. Right here we have a full map of the Jordan 1 Zoom Air Comfort 2. So this is like a map of everything that exists within the shoe, like all the forefoot details, cushioning. Because if you guys don't know, the Zoom Air Comfort is actually not the exact same as the Jordan 1, just the standard one, because there is actually Zoom Air. You can literally see it through a window on the bottom of the shoe, which is pretty cool. These retail for $165, which is interesting because they are $5 less than the regular Jordan 1. I wonder why Nike decided to do that. I think that they used to actually be $175, so I think that they lowered them by $10 because they usually don't sell too well. But jumping into the shoe itself, so this one actually has a pretty big Nike thing on it, which kind of reminds me of the high 85s and some of the Alma Manières. So you got some detailing of the shoe right there. It just depicts the Zoom Air unit. And then this piece right here says something like, caution, the two-toned upper does peel off to reveal another colorway underneath. So these are one of those shoes that do have a two-toned upper. I'm going to try and stay away from this left shoe because I'm not going to wear these and I'm not going to rip the tag off, and this one doesn't have a tag. So on the upper we got like that whole embroidered pattern that is on the box as well. So if I had to guess, I see a flower right here. I see a golden skull on the back of the shoe, which is the same on both the left and the right pair. So that's a really cool detail, cool contrast in color. So embroidered all around. The toe box is super sick. You got a big rose right there on the toe of the shoe. So that's really cool. On the back we got a gradient fade from gray to black all across, or like a champagne gold to a black. So that gradient fade kind of exists all throughout the shoe. On the midsole you can also see the forefoot is black and then it fades slowly to this cream gray colorway that does look really nice in contrast with the black. On the medial side, you got a slightly different rose pattern. I would imagine that every single one of these is a little bit different. And the embroidery is actually like real embroidery. If you touch it, it is raised above the surface. So it's not debossed. It's actually real embroidery, which is pretty freaking cool if I do say so myself. The Air Jordan Wings logo right here, I believe is debossed, if I had to say. It doesn't have the same raised feeling, but it still looks really good. And then you got like this cutout on the other side where the Wings logo might be if there was a Wings logo on the medial side. It's almost like a cutout, connect the dots, etch a sketch of the Wings logo. I didn't even notice that until right now. Another really cool detail about the shoe is that the swoosh is actually like it looks like it's underneath the overall material. So it's not surface with the rest of the upper. It's like sunken in, if that makes sense. So that is a really cool detail. This upper black part is kind of like a felt velvet feeling material, which does feel nice. You got Zoom Air on the tongue instead of Nike Air because these are Zoom Air Comfort 2, like I already mentioned a few times. And yeah, the gradient goes all throughout. I think it was a really smart move to add this gradient to the shoe because I don't really like all black midsoles. They usually don't look as good. So that is really, really cool. It's kind of annoying that this Nike thing is so big, but we are gonna quickly go over this left shoe right here. So this is the medial side, or the lateral side rather. It's the exact same. You got the skull on the back. The only distinguishing factor between the two is the insole. So one of them, this left pair, has Familia. I'm gonna put a picture up. One has Familia and one has that skull that is present on the back heel of the shoe and the box as well. So the gradient does definitely go through on both pairs. You also got that connect the dots thing going on right here as well. So that's really, really cool. As far as material quality goes, the like, I don't even know what material this is. It's almost like screen printed leather, I would say. And it's not very soft to the touch. It's pretty firm, but it does feel sturdy and good in hand. Like, it feels like a shoe that's not really meant to be soft, which is interesting because the midsole of these is actually softer than a regular Jordan 1. So that's a pretty cool detail. These are actually pretty comfortable from what I hear. Unfortunately, they're not my size. I would try them on, but I can't. But if I were buying these, honestly, I would go up a half size because they seem like a shoe that would be tight on feet, and that's what I've heard from other people as well. The outsole is a cream slash white outsole, and you do have that air peeking through, which I actually have never seen on a Jordan 1. And if you push on it, you can actually feel the air within the shoe. So it is actually an air comfort, which is pretty cool. As far as material and like craftsmanship goes, there is some issues for sure. I see a pretty big scratch right here. You can make that out pretty visibly. That's a pretty gigantic one. I think that's the worst one, but I won't. Oh, there's actually a pretty bad one right here as well. But personally, I don't really care about that on shoes because I'm gonna beat them anyway if I am gonna wear them. But a lot of people don't like that. So if you don't like bad craftsmanship, I don't know what to tell you then. But overall, this is a great shoe. Like, this is literally what a collab should be. Whenever I hate on shoes, it is for a reason. So I'm not just gonna hate on these just because they are not the most hype shoe ever. That makes no difference to me. I still really like the shoe, so I'm gonna admit that, and I'm gonna tell you. I don't think many people got these, so I didn't really see many videos. So I am super happy that I was able to get the opportunity to review these. Shout out Nike for blessing it. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end it off here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm really curious to find out. And thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all later. Peace.